Hey guys, I just wanted to mention that before you see this is actually a redone version of my final draft for one of my class projects. I was limited to 2 minutes, and I really thought, due to after hearing everyone's critique of my final version, I could let myself go and do however long this takes. So enjoy. I'm currently a senior, about to graduate this May, but you look back at my freshman year and it's a completely different story. I originally came in here as a bioenvironmental engineering major, but things got in the way. A bad roommate, poor exam grades, and homesickness in general just brewed into a massive storm that kind of ended up over my head and led to certain events unraveling in my just within my first semester. The bad exams led to me dropping a class, withdrawing from a class. I actually missed the ad drop deadline for that, but I withdrew from chemistry because I was getting bad exams and I wanted to focus on all my other exams and classes. The bad roommate led to me moving down the hall to a person on my floor's room because he would have had a roommate, but his roommate ended up assigned somewhere else, so he was alone, and I kind of just moved in to his room and he was totally accepting of it. I wasn't just barging in and being like, hey, guess what, you got a roommate. I kind of actually talked to him and kind of got his permission to move in. The homesickness I couldn't really do much about. I kind of just had to distract myself a lot. So whenever I wasn't doing an exam or I wasn't doing coursework or homework or typing up an essay or any of that type of thing, I had to kind of just either watch videos, watch movies, TV, or just generally hang out with the people on my floor. But the aforementioned storm came along and kind of just dumped everything on me my second semester, because I ended up with academic probation, which in Rutgers terms, and pretty much every other university I'm sure, and college, it just generally means that you have to lessen your course load, ideally take a few easier classes to raise your GPA, and take a class that helps you achieve a higher GPA that you want. Second semester wasn't too bad. I had to meet up with people to figure out housing for the next year. Pretty much as soon as the semester started, I missed a few of the deadlines, which caused me to try and sign up for a 6-person type living situation, but one of the members fell out and we only had 5, and we can't really do that with just 5. So we had to find another person, and by the time we sent in our application, it was too late. So somehow my strings, through talking with a dean of students and a case manager, they kind of helped me out because they knew the head of housing here, and I was able to get an apartment with 4 of the guys. And after that, sophomore year was pretty easy. I pretty much had already accepted that I was moving towards plant science, so instead of taking the next level engineering classes, I ended up with like horticulture and a lot more of the general education stuff so that I can kind of be free to make sure I knew what I was doing. Kind of similar situation with the housing for the next year, but it was pretty much like group after group after group fell through. Certain people ended up injured and unable to communicate, and the whole mess, but I kind of made sure I just found a group, stuck with it. I ended up with a group of people who I wasn't too keen on, but they were moderately cool for last year. And then this year I grabbed a group that was pretty much one of my friends from classes, and then his roommate, and a kind of random. And here I am in senior year. First semester was my research, as you saw in some of the videos I posted, and kind of just finishing off a lot of the classes that I needed for my major that were only available for the fall. And now here I am. I have one class that I was required to take, but all the other classes I kind of chose to take. And by the way, if you see me like looking down, I have my phone with a like Wi-Fi link to my camera so I can control it. Just thought I'd mention that, but you know, now all I do is plants. And don't worry, I know it's dripping on me. I'm kind of used to getting either soil all over me or totally drenched from a hose breaking. But I guess the moral of my story is the fact that I faced a problem. Kind of had to figure it out mostly by myself. I kind of used a lot of the links in Rutgers to my advantage, and kind of just dug my hand into the soil, and the seeds of my labor have paid off and now grant me a degree and diploma come this May. Who would have thought?